Got it? Greetings. Hi. We're going to shut down the Microlite XLT by Flagstaff. So let's start by opening the door, unlocking. I normally use the top lock. You just click it counterclockwise, click it open. You have to force it a little bit. And then let's go inside for a second. You got different things here. This is for the barbecue. Let's show you how that works. To put the barbecue on, you basically slide it here, like so. Make sure that you can open this guy over here, because that's where the gas comes out from. And I'll get the barbecue itself. Here's the barbecue. We've got two little holes here. And you can see how we are sliding in. And this is a grease trap which goes under here. Sweetheart, you don't have to, just back up and stay steady. You don't have to show all the details. Alright, now finally we've got the plug here, and that's fairly straightforward. You just attach it in here, and then there's an on and off position, and then to light it, you just pick it up and light it. Okay? When you're done, you push this back in, and you snap it closed. There's a little snap. Otherwise it comes undone while you're driving. We're going to put this away in a second. Let's look on the inside for a split second. Okay. Whenever you're shutting down, there's a couple things you need to do. First, make sure that the fan is down. And you keep that closed. I normally run and leave this open, because if it bunches up and it's a little moist, it'll get full of mildew. Okay? For the commode, you can flush it, but we have some, sometimes I get a liquid, I don't have it here. There's a blue liquid that you normally just pour inside. Make sure all the lights are off. Okay? I'll close this door. Normally, you don't drive with the bed down. Let's put a light on so you can see something. So I'm going to make the bed. Let's back up over there. Takes 2 seconds to make the bed, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's make the bed. Lift it up. You want to just push it in on one side, and then it should just slide the other onto the other side just as easily. And then it just kind of goes in. You want to do the top and then the two sides, like so. I'll edit it later. Alright, so let's keep going here. Just got to make the seats themselves. When you're driving, you want to leave the table down. And it makes for a nice storage area. You can store some stuff here afterwards, okay? Obviously, make sure this door is closed because it's going to shake. Make sure all the doors are closed. You also want to close this. Okay? Cabinets are closed. This you can leave as is. The bunk bed is fine. I'm going to leave it as is. Just move this over here for a second. I'll just leave the spare right here. This is going to come in, so maybe you wouldn't lift it a little bit. Right, make sure that the burners are off. Make sure all the lights are off. If you leave one light off, you unplug, it's going to kill the battery. Another good idea, make sure the windows are all secure. Keep them closed. Again, turn this off if it's not being used, otherwise it's going to go for the propane. I'll take this. And that's the off button. Great. You stand on there. Why don't you just stop it for a second? Alright, so now we're going to show you how to deal with the awning. So the first thing you want to do is just squeeze these in to unhook it here. You're going to do both sides real quick. Okay, so now it's kind of loose. And then make sure that these guys are loose. It's very simple. You want to go down, it says roll up, roll down, so you just click it down. And then you pull it, you can start pulling it out. And once you see this little hook, you hook into it carefully, there you go, and then you're able to pull it out. Okay. Like so. The next step is to unhook this guy, bring him around, and when this awning is far out enough, you're able to hook that in on both sides, and then the last step is to lift up the awning by just lifting it up like that. Okay? That's pretty straightforward. When you're putting it back, it's the reverse. Hook it in like that. Hold on to the string with your hands because the string this is pretty strong, and then you just do the opposite here. And now it's going to want to go up. It's going to go up. All the way up. Hook it back in. And that's it. That's the awning. When you're shutting down, you want to make sure that you turn off the propane tanks. Obviously just turn them the right way. Close is clockwise, it says it. These little knobs keep it closed. Make sure this box is closed for the battery. Here. Normally what I do is I have a little place to store this. You can see you just lift it up, it's on a spring. It closes like that. Just put it down here. Put this guy on top. And I just put this in the washroom. Okay? You can pause it for a second. Great. So normally this guy just goes in here on the top mattress. Okay? Here you've got the actual paperwork, the jack, other things in here. We'll leave that. Come here for a second. You want to make sure the pump is off. This basically allows you to check the levels of the gray water, black water, fresh water is full because I filled it up, the battery, and this is for the water heater. So you basically click it down, the water heater will turn on. Okay? This is the fuse box down here. Thanks. Come with me outside. Obviously you got the gray and the black water. This is where you connect the hose for the fresh water. And this is the electric. And to undo the electric, you basically unscrew it counterclockwise and you pull it out. But before we do that, we are going to shut this guy down. So to shut it down, it's very simple. You basically hit the in button over here So you'll see it come in on that side until it doesn't go any further. It stops, and the in button over here. Same thing until it stops. Done. And you can see here it's nice and flush. Here, Laura. Great. And we are going to remove the electric. No longer need it. And I'm going to leave the converter plug here. Normally, this is a 30 amp plug. You just would plug it directly into 30 amps. This is a 30 amp plug. This is a 15 amp. Actually, it's 20 amps. I'll leave that. We're almost done. So I just normally drop it here. It's one of the first things you want to get to, so you can turn on the air conditioning. And the last thing I need to do, please back up, is you want to undo these guys. It's counterclockwise to lift them up, clockwise to put them down. Very important. We got 4 of them, one on each corner. They're important because they stabilize. You want to lift the RV off the tires. The tires are bouncy, they're full of air. So with those guys, it tends to stabilize. Here, pretty obvious. Pick it up, put it in. Okay? And before you leave, you got to remove the wheel chucks. I have to leave them in for now, otherwise it might move. Okay? Hit it. Great. Okay, the last thing you want to do before you leave is you want to be able to obviously hook it up. There's no big mystery there. You basically have to lift it up, which is a clockwise motion. Lift it all the way up until the hitch is higher than the bulb. It's a 2-inch bulb. You basically back up underneath it, and then you bring it down onto the bulb. And when you bring it down onto the bulb, there's a certain point where it's not completely down on the ball, it's kind of almost down. You still have the ability to put the lock on. You put the lock on, you use this pin, you put the pin through it, and hook it in. Okay? So for now I'm going to leave the pin. You've got the electric, you've got the chains. You'll see the chain over here. It's got a wire through it. If it unhooks, the brake in there will turn on automatically. Okay? And that's about it. Congratulations. Thank you.